Hello everybody, Ray Garner with Garner's Games, here to do my weekly comic review. This time, Immortal Legendary Batman. This is an Elseworlds comic, so this is not main continuity. For those who are not familiar with Elseworlds, they are kind of like parallel universes to the main DC continuity, and they, most of the time, do not affect main continuity. Every once in a while there's an exception, but that's with every rule. This is brought to us by Kyle Higgins, Matt Groom, and our artist is Erica Durson and Dan Mora. So we start off World Avica Classification 5 Frontier. And we got us a ship crashing. Shouldn't really say crashing. It's being shot down by, I guess we'll call it the Bat spaceship, Bat rocket. Our little survivor gets out, runs through the caves. He eventually caves him in, thinking he has escaped what's chasing him. But what's chasing him is a legendary Batman. And Batman, holding this guy up over a cliff, and wants to know, where is Bruce Wayne? Now, we'll find out here in just a second. Now, I won't say that the feel and the look of this world is kind of a futuristic Western. So, Firefly. So there's definitely some influence from Firefly in this. But we have Sheriff Bruce Wayne, and I think it was Mayor. Yeah, Mayor Dent, and then Harvey Dent. And the assault took place at Dayton Kane mining site, OVA 12. Now, even after the fact that Wayne has a sheriff's, armband on to let everybody know he's the sheriff. And the person, the murderer trying to investigate has been completely ripped apart. And as they're going about their investigation, Batman shows up because he's now found Bruce Wayne. He says, "This man is a shadow, and he's coming with me." Dent's not buying it because Bruce has been helping him. In fact, the lady runs a ore hauler truck into him to try to save Bruce. They're trying to get away. He continues to chase them. And in a movie, this would make a cool action sequence, by the way. And once they finally stop him, and Batman has cut their guns apart with his, glow-in-the-dark batarangs. I don't know what you'd call those, but that's kind of what I'm going to call them. The lady actually pops up. There's apparently a turret inside the deal. So the trailer is Optimus Prime's trailer. Not really, but it's kind of what it makes me think of, because twin-barrel giant laser gun. And we get into a more or less face-to-face verbal confrontation between Batman and Bruce. And grinning, he says, "You love having your polite face, the one that people can look up to, so your other face can sanctify your desperate yearning to meke out the violence without consequences." He's like, "You're right. And he tells him, this is a shadow. He's not Bruce Wayne, and I can prove it." And he clicks his deal to reveal he's really Bruce Wayne. And the guy they're after is the man, the two-faced man. And of course, big fight ensues after that. And I believe it's at this point where we change artists. On this page here, we have one artist. And on this page here, we kind of, feels like we changed artists. I may be wrong, but I feel pretty confident that we changed artists right here. Add a little more manga style. The two people end up getting knocked off the cliff, and Batman has to save them. He gets into his bat plane / rocket and goes after them. And that's where the first story kind of comes to an end. Then we get into a background story. And that's our backup story, I should say, that's going to tell us what's happening. It's talking about in the 22nd century, mankind took to the star. We did so by basically breaking the power of black matter or dark matter so that we could bend time and space around us. However, it came at a terrible cost because we opened up a portal which allowed these shadow things out of their dimension to start killing everybody. But eventually, 3 individuals showed up to stop them. And basically, and the drawing is pretty much tells you. They're doing the yin and yang energy studies. 1 per yin, 1 per yang, 1 yin and yang. And what we get is the way of the Robin, the way of the Bat, and the way of the Nightwing. The Nightwing being the balance, the Robin being the light, and the Batman being the dark. And the first masters are, of course, male on Robin and Bat, and female on Nightwing. And over time, they would pick out individuals to train to replace them. So a few years ago, Master Stephanie Brown passed on the mantle of the Immortal Robin to a boy genius named Tim Drake. 2 years prior, Master Harper Row passed the Immortal mantle of the Nightwing to stunt pilot Dick Grayson. And 2 years ago, the person talking says, I passed on the mantle to trillionaire Bruce Wayne, who had lost his parents to a shadow attack. And he pressed on to prove that he could handle the mantle. But abruptly, out of nowhere, he turned his back on his 2 partners and disappeared. And everybody talked about how brutal he's become. So, he has decided that Bruce can no longer be the Immortal Batman. So, he's sending his son, Thomas Elliot, to take the mantle away from Bruce. And that's where our story ends. I think it's a well thought out Elseworld story. It's got a lot of action. It gets right into it very quickly. Like I said, it's got a little bit of that Firefly feel to it. The way of the Bat, the way of the Robin, and the way of the Nightwing have almost a Power Rangers, Ninja Force feel to them. So that's kind of fun. The backstory, evil shadow entities coming in and taking over things. Lots of science fiction pulled from that kind of concept. Really good book. Really happy with the art. It fits the story. And the story moves along at a brisk pace. It doesn't insult anybody's intelligence. And it's overall, it's a fun read. And it's always great when we see a Batman that is doing something that the main universe doesn't have to answer to. And we can kind of go off and explore different concepts. And this futuristic Batman where the Batman mantle is handed down from person to person. And we're just now getting the Bruce Wayne having it. He's not the first Batman. There's been several Batmen before him. That's a really interesting idea. Also want to know why he has left, the Robin and Nightwing behind and see what's going on there. So I'm looking forward to the next issue. I highly recommend it if you're a Batman fan at all or the Bat universe. So check it out and I'll catch you next week. Thank you.